Okay, so we're back. Let me zoom out a little bit. There you go. So the cocoa core has swollen a lot. Some of that's already gone, by the way. I've got some gravel there to fill up at the bottom. Not too much, just to stop the holes from getting blocked by the soil as it drains through. Very important. And what did I use in the end? Okay, so I used 2 of them. So it's quantity wise, it doesn't matter if it's a smaller container. I use 2 perlite, 2 topsoil, 1 chippings or bark, and 1 manure stroke compost. And this is the end product, basically. So you know when you buy house plants occasionally and you see those little white things in it and you're like, what are they? Well, that's perlite. It's very good. So this is great. Doesn't look like your garden soil, by all accounts. It doesn't clump. I don't want it to. It's very fibrous. The water will drain through, but it will also be absorbed into the material, which means it's water retentive. And that's what you want, especially for bananas. So that there is perfect for bananas, okay? Now, if I go to, let's say my, here you go, my elephant ears. Show these bad boys. This is a very sandy based. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but it's very sandy, loamy. It's not so humus rich. Now, to be fair, they prefer a little bit more humusy soil, but when I repot this one, which I might do later on, it'll be having the same mixture. Okay, hands are clean. There's the test subject as such. Excuse me walking around, I haven't got the proper camera set up. So first of all, you don't want too much in there because it's added weight. What you do want is enough to cover the bottom, just so the soil doesn't, sorry I keep washing my hands, just so the soil doesn't fill up the holes. Okay, now I'm going to pick that up and tip that into there. So for that process I'm going to put you down a second. Oh. You wouldn't believe it, I've got all the gear, I can't be bothered to set it up. Well, it should be showing me how to do it that way. What we'll do, stop halfway. Let's stop halfway. I'm just going to mix this up. Make sure it's well mixed because in deep buckets it's quite hard to do. Voila. Right, let's take the pot and let's stand her in there. So she wants to come up about another 3 to 4 inches. I'm going to put you back a second. Give it a good mix again. There's more coconut core at the bottom here, so I want to make sure that's all mixed in properly. That is beautiful. That's really nice. Okay, let's check for height again. That's probably looking good. I would say that'll be perfect. I'm going to go for 2 of these. So I want another one. I'm going to be planting them side by side like so. Yeah, that'll do. That makes it easy for me to transport in and out if I put them into storage over winter. Remember, less than 10 degrees, they drop all the leaves die back and you start again. So if you want to gain height to the full potential of about 2.5 to 3 meters, you need to keep them above 10 degrees for the winter period. Okay, so let's put them back onto here. Oh, by the way, if you haven't got one, worth purchasing one of these. It's a tomato grow bag tray. I do not use them for tomatoes, but it's great for repotting and potting. It's a nice clean surface to do it in. Okay, so this, I'll tell you what, I should have got the gimbal out and a stand. Apologies for this really bad camera work. This is atrocious, I should be ashamed. Let's have a look. These were watered last night, so they should be well formed. Got a bit of root bound going on at the bottom, but she'll go. And this is where I knew they needed redoing. If you look at the bottom, see that? You can see, so when the roots come through the pot, that's an indication that you need to repot them. And as you can see, this one is long overdue. Long overdue. Probably by about 6 weeks or so. But we'll remedy that. That's not a problem. So all we're going to do is slowly untwine these. Give it a head start. You don't have to do this. I do all the time. Sometimes I'll cut them back as well. These are all good shoots. I'm liking these. These are really nice. Yep, happy days. Roll it over, and as you can see, it's all nice, tightly bound and fresh. These are going to grow so fast. So it's not unreasonable to assume your banana plants in the right soil, this is a key thing, will grow up to 2 to 3 meters of growth in a year, quite easily. But it is down to the right soil conditions, water, sunlight. They're also like humid temperatures, so what you do need to do is make sure that you sprinkle them or spray them, the leaves, probably once or twice a day if possible in the hot climates. That's what they like, that's where they come from. This isn't going to work. I don't have time to set my camera gear up properly, so I apologise. I shouldn't really apologise, just to get the proper stuff. Take me seconds to go and get a tripod, but hopefully that'll be okay. Okay, so said banana plant. As you can see, plenty of good roots there. And these are all going to run off to feed and get those nutrients out. Lovely, but long overdue. Okay, so what you want to do, prise the roots out a little bit, just give them a helping start so they don't continue on the journey of going round and round and round. And that one there is lovely. Right, now I'm going to have to lift these out, and there's handles there. So I'm thinking that the plants should probably be front to back. There's loads of different ways of doing this. I like to take a little bit of the soil out, where I'm going to put the plant, sit the plant in it, and then I'll backfill. And as I'm doing two, I'm going to put the other one in first. Again, this one's root bound as well. So I'll take that out of there. There you can see some nice fresh roots there. That's what we want. Lovely plants. These are really good. Now these are this year's, well, they were grown through the winter, I should say. And I bought these from our local garden centre at a really nice price of around £30, I think. Yeah, you can buy more established plants if you really want to, but with bananas I wouldn't say it's worth it. This is a good size. Definitely a good size to go with. These are put on massive amounts of growth this year. And I'll be overwintering these. I'll show you what they look like next year then. There you go. Right, I'll take a little bit out. because there's 2 in a pot, banana plants need a lot of feeding, especially in the growing season. They don't during winter, but in the growing season they need a lot of feeding. So it's always good to try and make it so the leaves, if possible, don't crash. Well, to be fair, in this garden, they'll give each other support and protection from our wind, because it's quite violent in here. Okay. Just making sure that they are roughly where I want them in the basket. I know it sounds crazy, but when I'm lifting them out, I need to be able to hold the handles. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but we'll work to it. I'm not worried about that. Okay, so all we're going to do now is fill around, but first, so I'm going to use some premium plant. This is a soluble base, so 1 handful is about 35 grams. I meant there's enough nutrients in here already, but I like to give them another little helping start at the beginning of the season. So we'll do that. And all we're going to do is mix this up. Mix the rest of that mixture. Make sure it's all well mixed. This is great soil for bananas, guys. Amazing, actually. I think you can buy stuff specific, but pointless. Costs far too much. If you're like me and you have a lot of plants to plant in the gardens and stuff, it's not worth buying bags of soil for it. You're better off mixing your own. This is really hard holding everything. Normally you've got 2 sets of hands. I'm sure you've all seen filling up the thing again. Still. Okay. Okay, let's pack this down around. I can tell you now, these are going to love it. Absolutely love it. They've got a lot more freedom, a lot more depth to grow. As I said, make sure they're well compacted down. You haven't got to worry about it. You're not going to create compaction in the soil. So, purely because of the amount of perlite and organic matter in there. It'll create so much aeration all the time. We ain't going to have to worry about it. Also, with the mixture that I've got in here, as the bark rots down as well, we're not going to have to repot this up. Nope. Okay. Let's get all that in there and I can move it around afterwards. I can tell you now, the wife's going to be like that. Make sure you sweep up. And I will, because I always do. Okay. What you don't want to do is cover the crown any more than what it was already covered when it was growing. Otherwise you can rot it out. So I'll make sure that the base of the leaves are clear. And look at that. Now that is a nice pot with 2 bananas in it. Plenty of nutrients. A nice water retentive, free draining soil that I'm never going to be able to pick up. I will. I've got a dolly. That'll help me do that. Right guys, so there you go. Repotting the 2 bananas. That's going to go in a 6 banana plantation with some red bananas. It looks slightly more sensitive. to the weather, so we'll have to be very careful on them. But yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.